everybody. Welcome to We Run on Reruns. I'm Amanda, and I'm here with my brother, Eric.
How's it going, everybody? I hope you guys are having a great week as we are now into the post-Ross and Rachel era on our Friends Rewatch tour. Amanda, how'd you find these episodes in general?
They were good. I really enjoyed watching these episodes. I mean, I get your point that you made on the our last episode where it's like, the first one's back where they break up. It's a lot. And I do get it, but there were some super funny Chandler moments too, especially where I'm like, oh gosh, we broke Chandler.
There are great moments. There are like iconic Friends moments in all of these episodes. And more great moments than great episodes, I think. But we will dive into that as we go through this whole thing.
Yes.
For those of you who are continuing to support us on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube, thank you so much. Please keep doing so. If you could like or share or repost a video that you found funny, that you liked, that you agreed or disagreed with us on. Awesome. We really appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Yeah, let us know what you think. We would love to hear from you for sure. So just to recap where we were at on our last discussion, Ross and Rachel decided that, Rachel decided that she wanted to go on a break, as we defined. But then Ross overheard Mark at Rachel's apartment on the phone and decided that was a good opportunity to hook up with the copy place girl, where Rachel then initially told Ross she wanted to get back together, but then soon thereafter learned about that hookup from Gunther, and then everything unraveled. And as Ross desperately attempted to explain himself to Rachel, Phoebe, Monica, Chandler, and Joey were trapped in Monica's room, resorting to snacking on leg wax.
As one does.
Which was a really iconic scene as well. So I feel like this whole section is just full of stuff that anyone who loves rewatching Friends, these are just some classic moments. So it's been pretty fun to relive and talk about for sure. But yeah, then so today we are recapping season 3, episodes 17 and 18.
Yes. And episode 17 is to me like one of the more interesting ones here, because this is our first post-breakup episode. It is season 3, episode 17, The One with the Ski Trip. And after Ross and Rachel break up, the gang is stuck in the middle, choosing who they want to hang out with. And Ross gets them to come over and check out his new dartboard and additions to the apartment, but they have to give up going to a fashion show. They do agree, however, to go away on a ski weekend with Rachel instead of then going to Ross's darts bonanza, shall we say, that never took place. And on their way to the ski trip, they get stuck at a rest stop out of gas and needing Ross to come bail them out.
Yeah. And so this is kind of like, unlike a lot of the episodes that we cover where it's like there's all these mini stories going on, the whole thing is really just about like how the friends are dealing with the tension now that has evolved between Ross and Rachel, and like trying to like spend time with each of them, right?
It's Chandler makes reference at some point, like, this is just like when my parents got divorced. And it is spot on. You are having the two like key relationship figures break up, and all the children are left here in the middle, and both parents are trying to pull them to each side. And listen, as someone who has seen enough divorce, not through my, not personally, but through the job that I work in, anytime the kids are yanked back and forth, it's no good for anybody. Anytime you can try and be amicable about it, it works out really well for everybody. So the friends that are not part of the breakup are pleading in this episode to make that happen.
Yeah, it's pretty funny, right? To your point, Chandler has that line. This is like when my parents got divorced. I hope Ross doesn't try to kidnap me after Cub Scouts.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
This is also the episode where they coined the phrase, "We were on a break."
Oh my gosh, yes. This is where it all starts, and we just continue to hear it really through the rest of the series, right? And that line is probably the most famous line of the series, one might argue.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think there's much of a question. I think "We were
Right.
on a break" is the number one line in this show. Not that it's the funniest line in the show, but it's the thing that people will remember and go to.
Yeah. I do love how Phoebe jumps in, like, right when... So in the very beginning of the episode, they're realizing Rachel's there and Ross was about to show up to Central Perk, and they're just trying to, like, quickly usher Rachel out of Central Perk because there's just been so much tension, and Phoebe's, like, handing Rachel, like, a old cup of coffee. She's like, "Oh, you need coffee? Here you go. Like, let's drink it up really quick and get the hell out of here," type thing. And Rachel's like, what are you talking about? I mean, part of me was like, just be straight with her. Just say Ross is coming. We should go. You know what I mean? Type thing. But I think they're trying to be more subtle, which is funnier, obviously. And then when Ross finally shows up, Phoebe's impersonating both of them. And she's like, "Oh, Ross, yeah, what did I hear? Rach, I'm really sorry. That's okay, Ross. Do you want to get back together? Yeah, okay. Did anyone else hear that?"
I think that is absolutely great. It's a nice little, like, desperate move from one of the left behind in the wake of the breakup to try and, like, pair everything back together, or connect again. I do think it was very interesting to me that while we're saying we were on a break, and that starts, like, permeating itself into the dialogue over and over throughout this episode, you get clips of Phoebe, Monica, and Joey all kind of agreeing with both sides of this.
Yes.
Where Phoebe has a line where she's like, "Oh, that is just totally not right, although I do understand the point."
Yes.
And Monica is questioned about it, and her response is something along the lines of, "Well, I don't know." Just trying to stay out of it completely. Joey just pretends not to hear the question.
Oh my gosh. Joey's reaction, what? Oh, sorry, I didn't hear. Yeah, what?
Well, not according to Joey. What? Yeah, it is one of these episodes that I don't know how great the episode is. Well, I mean, you could talk about that too.
Yeah.
We'll get into this, but
yeah,
there are key pieces that set the rest of the show in motion.
Yeah, there's really funny lines for sure, but I think, like we've talked about other episodes, how they're kind of more bridge episodes to say, like, listen, this is an important part that we talk about how it's affecting the friend group, but they also didn't want to hang out in that space of, like, tons of tension between them for more than really. I mean, there's still going to be a lot of tension, but it's not as forward as in this episode. Like, this is kind of where by the end they're saying, listen, if we're going to all still hang out, you guys need to figure this out. Like, you guys can kind of still dislike each other, but we have to be able to hang out. Or maybe they even said you have to at least like each other in order for us to get along and for this to be okay, and is that what you want? And Phoebe was really the voice of reason at the end of all of this, for sure. I mean, I think the rest of them, like Monica especially, it's like, this is her brother, but then this is her best friend. And, like, she was kind of like, yeah, I said I understood. Joey's the one who agreed with you, right. And, like, just trying to, like, pass it around. Like, I don't want to be focused on here. I actually almost think Joey's approach was the best. And I'm not an avoidant person, but, like, it's sort of like, you know what? This is not this is not about me. Like, I'm just gonna pretend like I'm not even hearing what you guys are saying.
I might make
Because,
the argument that Chandler's approach was the best.
oh my gosh,
When they
Chandler's
all start yelling at each other and Chandler just starts acting like an absolute idiot for nothing and Phoebe has to stop everybody. Look what you're doing to Chandler.
Yeah.
And he's just out here waving around, trying to apparently be Shelley Winters from the Poseidon Adventure.
I was just gonna say, and Ross actually understood it, which
Ross
is
is like,
great.
yeah, I got it.
I got it. Yeah. Yeah. And
real quick though, do you think that it was valuable to do this at a rest stop on their ski trip?
I liked that because it was like we have a lot of these episodes where they're all together, but they're always they tend to be at the girls' apartment, right? We do have some future where it's like they're all together more at the guy's place, but I did like that it kind of took them out of the normal setting and they were trying to do something and go somewhere. And it was even in that moment where Rachel's like, I can't believe that you called him. Like, I'm just like, girl, that was such an immature moment for Rachel, right? Where they're trapped. Like, what else are you going to do? You weren't even paying attention to the street that you're on so that someone could come help you. Like, you've been up and down this road how many times? Oh, I'm always just sleeping in the back or something that she says. It's like,
I don't know how none of them know what road they're on.
I know. It's so bad.
That to me is a little far-fetched. And listening to Phoebe try and explain to the rescue services, can you just send someone up and down every highway and stop at every rest stop until you find us? Oh, no, they're not going to do that.
It's like
no kidding.
Right. Although I can be that person. I'm not going to lie that like I know the direction I'm going, but the name of the street I might be a little bit fuzzy on. But if it's like
all of them?
Right. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
All of them
right.
don't know?
Right. There's not a single person that knows. Right.
I'll say this. I think it was very important to do this, maybe not necessarily at a rest stop, but not at Monica's apartment, not at Central Perk, because then it's less likely. It feels less like, because you're not just going to go back to being normal. And if you take them out of their element, it also gives the vibe of this is not normal, this is not typical, and they're still trying to put it all together before they can all hang out at Central Perk again.
Yeah, that's very true. It's like, it's almost like they just needed to get this out of their system in a separate place that's not like one of their home bases, right? It's like a neutral location. Right. And I also do love Carol's involvement in all of this too. That where Ross then is going over to Carol's house and to kind of vent to her about like what's going on with the friends. And then she ends up being on the phone with Phoebe, who explains to her what really happened, where Ross slept with someone else, and she like then confronts him on it, and his response, well, you're one to talk too, is great. Yeah.
is a really good line. It's a great comeback from Ross. And
but I love how he explained the story to her, but left that key piece of information out. Ross, come on. How did you
also I don't know how he thought that was going to work. Like,
I know.
He included in his explanation that she hooked up with Mark, and that didn't happen.
I know.
So it's just, listen, Ross, that's not the way to do it.
No.
And I think this is part of why people
dislike
I think like fans just absolutely defend Rachel and dislike Ross, because his character in these episodes,
it's not good.
It's not good. And it's very much just whiny and blamey and pointed. And even though he does have a few moments here of genuine kindness, this isn't the one.
Yeah.
You know, and it's hard to watch sometimes to see him make up those lies and just complain, "Well, we were on a break, we were on a break, we were on a break." And I think that is really
It is.
why people side with Rachel.
You're so right. Yeah, it is really hard to watch because he doesn't own any of it. Like,
Because
we all,
most
dude,
people,
everyone knows what's going on here. Like,
and
just own it.
most people, I think, will agree with the idea of, okay, yes, it was very clear they were on a break, but no, he's still in the wrong because of how quickly he reacted to that and how poorly he reacted to that. Yes,
Yeah.
I
And
agree wholeheartedly. Like, he can be in the wrong, but they were on a break.
And what's really, I think, grating for me to see is like how quickly he changed from like where he's kissing Rachel's arm and he's telling her how much he's gonna miss her, and he like is just so apologetic and heartbroken to then like, yeah, just being super. I mean, I mentioned that Rachel, reacted kind of immaturely earlier, but I
They
mean,
both did.
Ross really takes the cake here. It's like you shifted gears from being really apologetic to, yeah, just very
Well,
whiny and blaming the entire time. I don't really understand, like, if his goal is to get Rachel back, is what I'm trying to say here, then that approach is just so off. Like that is not
yeah,
the right move. I don't
no,
understand why
no,
he didn't just stay with the apologetic gear, like stay in that gear, because he was almost there. Like, I feel like if he had just given Rachel time on that and just kept apologizing, they could have gotten back to where they were faster, I feel. But he just decided, you know what, I'm gonna take this road, and it just, it made for better comedy. We'll say that, right? Like,
well,
that's
I was going to say, this is where I think
this is the comedy. Yeah,
Ross's decision making is more based on what do we want this show to
yeah,
be. And I know I have heard the writers over and over praise Jennifer Aniston for making Rachel likable,
yes,
because if you just think of that character and what she does on the whole, it can be a very unlikable person.
yes,
And so if Ross falls on the sword here and takes the brunt of the breakup blame,
yes,
it makes Rachel more likable. And
absolutely.
so
Yeah,
like he is a more redeemable character over the course of the series,
yes.
that I think it just made more sense for him to kind of be the one that carries the burden of
I
the
think
blame of
that
this breakup.
I think that was really smart of the writers, because you're so true too. Because I think people are way more quick and judgy with female characters too. So if like she had taken on the brunt, it probably, you're right, would have been like, wow, Rachel is just like not likable at all. And I feel like with Ross, he was able to take that on. And yeah, like we've talked about, listen, Ross gets a lot of crap from people. He takes a lot of heat. But I think
He
mean,
does.
as I've talked about, even though it's absolutely absurd, he still is, tends to be my favorite character through the series, even though I think what a lot of times his behavior is completely off base.
Yeah,
So
but if Rachel had taken the brunt of this,
it,
I feel like people would care less
yes,
about what Rachel was doing as a
unfortunately,
whole.
yeah, that's probably true.
And that's why we're kind of left here.
Yeah.
Interesting note about this one that I did learn, they filmed this on a soundstage.
Oh,
So
okay.
like when they can't move the cars much because it's only so far.
Okay.
So you saw like the car pull up from this one angle,
Yep.
but then they can't move the cab off the other side.
Right.
So when the taxi drives away, it's just like camera work making it look like it's driving away.
Oh my God.
But it's not actually moving.
Okay.
And so like, because they could only move the one car like around the corner to show up.
Yep.
There was no exit point.
Okay.
Cab on the other side.
Yeah.
Which I thought was fun.
That is cool. No, that's cool.
Fun little note.
Yeah, oh my goodness. Yeah, this group does not get out of Manhattan much. I mean, I guess that's obvious by the being directionally challenged for where they are, and also Phoebe being like, oh no, this has happened before. What? Yeah, we're out of gas. It's like,
We need more
we
gas.
need more gas. It's like, oh God,
By the way,
Phoebe.
like, how do you pull over at a rest stop that doesn't have a gas
I
station
know.
at it, too? It's just a bathroom?
I
Like,
know.
uh,
I do like the smoking part with Chandler of this episode as well, where he's just like, yesterday I was smoking again, today I'm smoking still. And then when Phoebe's
that's right.
trying to get him to stop smoking in the cab, and she's like, what does the sign say? Beam me up, Jesus. It's like the other sign. There's no smoking
The
in this
other
cab.
sign.
Yeah.
So now we're on to season 3, episode 18. This is the one with the hypnosis tape, where we get to meet Mrs. Knight and Pete Becker.
Oh, yes.
Frank Jr. and Alice are introduced as an engaged couple to the gang, and Phoebe has a really difficult time accepting this, even trying to use Joey and Ross to convince Frank that he's made a mistake. Chandler is trying to quit smoking through hypnosis, but ends up picking up some new character traits. And Monica starts dating again after being left a $20,000 check from Pete as a tip.
Mm-hmm.
So now I feel we're back into a more traditional Friends episode.
Yes.
Which one of these you want to jump into?
Well, it kind of gets started off with the whole, the storyline of Chandler and the hypnosis tape. So I do like, Gunther's scene at the very beginning where he tells Chandler to stop smoking in Central Perk. And then he's like, actually, can I just have a drag off that cigarette? Oh, dark mother, how I've missed you. And he's like, yeah, why don't you just hold on to that one, Chandler?
You're like, you go ahead and keep that one. That one's all yours.
Because now Gunther is very attached to the cigarette. It's pretty funny. But as an ex-smoker, unfortunately, I can say that, yeah, listen, just don't go back. Do not take that drag again. Do not do it, kids. Don't smoke. It's bad. But anyway.
There you go.
But
PSA.
Yeah. But yeah, this is, I guess we kind of finished the last storyline in the previous episode mentioning how Chandler is back to smoking, and so here we are with Rachel giving him this tape because she's like, listen, this hypnosis tape, it's done wonders. And Ross immediately, you do still see this, although at the end of the last episode they decided to, just make it work, at least hanging out. They do continue to bicker a little bit here, where Ross is just kind of like, hypnosis? Like, come on, that's just like BS. And Rachel's like, what about the time where you got hypnotized? He pulled his pants down and played a wipeout on his butt cheeks. Like, so apparently that happened.
It's hard to deny that. I mean, I haven't seen Ross just do that in an episode at any point randomly, so it seems like maybe he fell for it.
Mm-hmm.
I do like, this story is one of those like really small pieces of an episode.
Yes.
But Chandler weaves it throughout the whole
Mm-hmm.
thing. First, when he's putting his chapstick on, and he's like dabbing it with a napkin. And then he comes out of the bathroom from a shower with the towel around his head. And then, Pete's coming to pick up Monica, and he's like, just because you're going on a date with him does not mean you have to give him anything. Okay, go get the lobster.
I know. She's like, I know. Yeah, he's like, trying to be like one of the girls. Yeah, because, Joey and also overhears Chandler.
Yeah, this is late.
Yes, listening to that tape, and it says, you're a strong, confident woman who doesn't need to smoke. A strong, confident woman. And you just see him all cuddled up under his blankets listening to this while he sleeps, not knowing. Yeah, I also like when he comes in when Monica is getting ready and he's like, that is a lovely blouse. They're just like, what? Because that is not normally something that he would comment on at all. And yeah, what did you think about what Joey decided to insert into the hypnosis tape? Like, he could have said anything, right?
Okay. He could have said anything, right? Did I write it down? I didn't. But he asked
I have it here.
for something, and then he asked for like, you're gonna buy Joey hundreds of pairs of pants.
Yeah.
Like,
yes. Well,
what? What are you gonna do with hundreds of pairs
says,
of pants? But I also thought it would have been really funny to show Chandler showing up with hundreds of pairs of pants for Joey. Like, that would have been a very funny scene to do. But
right, you want to make him a cheese sandwich every day and buy him hundreds of dollars worth of pants. And I'm like, I didn't know Joey had a pants shortage. Is this missed opportunity in a plot line? Like
hundreds of dollars. That's what it was.
That
not
could be like one pair of
pairs.
pants.
That could be a couple pairs of pants. Like, that's only 2 pairs these days.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And you're shopping in Manhattan. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're going to get more than, well, listen, buying $100 pairs of pants. You and I are living in different tax brackets. But that's okay. You're at least getting one for $100. I would have liked it to have been like boxes of pants, like many sets of pants.
But the pants line, I'm just always thinking, right,
how long
every
is a
day.
cheese sandwich, Joey? It's like 2 pieces of bread and a piece of cheese? Like, is that what we're talking about? You're talking about grilled cheese. Grilled cheese would take a little bit of time.
It just tells you a lot about Joey's character. Listen, these are the things. He's a simple guy. Like, he just wants a cheese sandwich and some pants, and he's good to go. He could have said just about anything there, although Chandler does wake up right away. Joey did not work on his hypnosis voice at all.
I think he tried. He put one on. But it clear, like, I'm not, I do not have difficulty falling asleep and staying asleep. I know my wife does very easily. She like wakes up to the smallest noises. If you are listening to a sound machine and that's helping you sleep, and then it like shifts.
Yes.
You're waking up.
Yeah.
It's just how it works. I think most people who have that would wake up in that instance. Yeah. So it was a nice try by Joey, but unsuccessful.
Yeah. So Eric, were you a fan of the movie Swingers?
Oh, sure. It's been a minute since I've seen it, but like Vince Vaughn
and Jon Favreau who shows up at because I was thinking like before this scene in Friends, because Jon Favreau then ended up doing a whole lot. I mean, directing and being, in a lot of just like Marvel movies and that type of thing.
Oh, yeah.
But before that, I really just knew him from Swingers. And guys, like, comment if there's things that you knew of that he was in before Friends that I'm leaving out here. Drop it in the comments. But I was just trying to think, like, what else did we know him from before
Friends?
Yeah, because
I'm actually pulling up his IMDb page as we go, just because I think there was something, but I can't remember for sure. That being said, I will comment on this since then. I mean, he's done a lot as an actor, but boy, I feel like he's done so much as a director.
Yes,
that it has really been the thing. And the one that jumps out to me as a director and also at one point is Elf. Like Elf is that Christmas movie, obviously with Will Ferrell, that everybody knows, hopefully.
Gosh, so funny,
But yeah. So here's what he was in before Friends that means something to me. Swingers obviously is there. He was also in an episode of Seinfeld. He was in the movie Batman Forever, although just as an assistant. So I don't.
Okay.
I like that movie.
Yeah, we watched that a lot as kids. Yeah,
but I couldn't place him right now.
I couldn't either. No.
He has to be. I think he must be in the lab. Where Jim Carrey's Riddler kind of is like
I'm thinking the same thing. Right.
Apparently he was in a couple episodes of Chicago Hope.
Okay, so he did some TV
and that's
cameos.
About it. But I think that's what he did.
Great.
Though. He did like cameo type stuff, like small bit parts.
Yeah. I really liked him in Friends. I thought his
I think he was
character was
great in
really
Friends.
funny, and I thought like him and Monica had really good on-screen chemistry too. And probably just goes to like they're both just really great actors as well. And I think he's really talented at acting. So that's why I was kind of like, wow, that's sort of surprising. I wonder. So there was nothing about like him as a child actor or anything like that,
No,
like before.
I
Wow.
I
Okay.
think he's just, but I also
Yeah.
think he's found a home
Yeah.
behind the camera,
Yeah.
doing a
Which
really, really good job of that. Now he did pick up again, I would have called it a bit part in Marvel movies because he didn't
yes.
have a
Oh
lot.
yeah. Yeah.
But then he was in a lot of them, and as the MCU progressed, his character became a little bit more and more noteworthy
Yeah.
as it got going.
Yeah, but I
That
I
being
do
said,
like yeah, I just like how he sort of appears at, that the Moon Dance diner where Monica's working, all dressed up in her outfit and he's flirting with her. And I just thought he was so cute back then too. Like he was so handsome and I'm thinking like, come on, because there's this whole plot point of Monica just not being attracted to him and I'm like, really? Like what? Really? I don't know. I just found that a little bit hard to believe. Just my own opinion. I'd like
listen,
to hear
the heart wants what it
other
wants.
people. Yeah, what do people think? It's
I am certain there are people that would find him attractive and others that would find him not as attractive, and that's just what their type is, and it is what it is.
and he was just so sweet to her too. I'm just like, what is going on here? Although then as we're, this is obviously a rewatch podcast, but it does not work out right long term, as we all know. Anyone who's listening to this, I'm sure already knows that. And how it goes down, I'm like, wow, I'm really glad that Monica it wasn't like completely
Yeah.
head over heels from the
No,
start, because that was rough. That was really
Pete's
rough.
character takes
He took a
a
turn.
harsh turn,
Oh my god.
but like not wildly unpredictable for his character
he
type
is.
either.
So true.
Um,
CEO type, like, yeah, just like
well,
entrepreneur,
just guy
making
that is able to make everything work and always
Yes.
gets everything done, and why not? I should be able to do this too. Type of stuff.
takes massively risky,
Yeah.
choices, but then oftentimes comes out on top because of taking those risks, like, leaving Monica a $20,000 check and for a tip and just rolling the dice and seeing what happens, right? Like that's
Yeah.
just his character. Yeah.
Now that being said, in this episode specifically,
Mhm.
the check is very interesting because it gets her to go to his place of work and confront him, which works, but it still doesn't always pan out. And he's like, listen, one date. And then he like flies her off to Italy for the one date.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I that scene, I don't know why, but what always sticks out to me in that scene is where he's on the conference call and he ends it and there's the one guy who's just like, I'm still on. And I'm like, dude, you could hang up on your end, I'm pretty sure. Like what are you doing?
See, to me, what bothers me about that scene, these are the little things, right? Like
Yeah.
Pete is reaching back
Yeah.
to turn off the TV, right? Turn off the last thing with his remote. And he hasn't quite got the remote pointed at the TV or before it goes off. And it's like, okay, so clearly like the timing here was wrong.
Right.
Like he should have got there faster, or whoever was actually controlling it could have turned it off a little later. I don't know. It bothers me all the time. It's the little things, right?
I know.
So
But I'm
the little
like,
things.
dude, you could just, hey, end the call. On
He
your
could have
end.
hung up too.
Oh my
God.
god.
Listen, this was new technology back then. Like maybe they could.
Hey, this also, I mean, I know I made a slight reference to Back to the Future the other day. I believe that was actually, yeah, where was that on the about the dance? Oh, this was on our Stranger Things rewatch podcast where
Oh yes.
where Mike was talking to Eleven about the snowball dance, and it just reminded me of the Enchantment Under the Sea dance. Well, either way, guys, I'm a massive, so is Eric. We're both really massive Back to the Future fans. So
Oh,
if I
yes.
just slip in a reference every now and then, this is just what's always on the forefront of my mind. But either way, this sequence where he's with all the TVs just also reminds me of future Marty with all of
Yeah.
his TVs in his
Yeah.
office. And it's like, yeah, it never quite got, like, that's not really, I mean, people have several monitors and several screens,
No.
but it's not quite used in that way, I
Well,
think.
and it's because in neither of these opportunities were they thinking that smartphones would exist.
Yes, right.
And so, as such, do video calls happen all the time? Yes. In fact, you and I are on one right now.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Like, that's the thing.
Valid.
Like, that exists. That technology exists, and it's used regularly,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe not to the way that it's depicted, because they didn't anticipate computers and smartphones and stuff being to what they are.
That's so true. Yeah.
That being said, we have to get back into this episode here
Yeah.
to talk about Frank Jr. Because
saving the best for last here.
because any episode that Frank Jr. is in is a good episode,
Yeah.
or a great episode. And I know I didn't go and look this back up,
Okay.
but I'm fairly confident the only reason this storyline even exists at all is because Lisa Kudrow is pregnant.
Oh, yes.
And
Yes, she really is. Right. Yeah.
They have to cover for this somehow.
Oh my
and
gosh.
they make this story in there. And I would not be happier that they not only brought Frank Jr. back into the fold, but also cast Alice.
Oh my gosh.
The actress's name escapes me right now, but she was the mom on that 70s show.
Yes.
And yeah. So anyway,
So
they cast
funny.
them. What a great combo.
I know. Yeah.
And
thank you for
super
getting
funny the
pregnant,
whole
Phoebe.
time.
Yeah.
Yes, no kidding.
Yeah.
But anyway, I laugh every time when Frank Jr. walks in and he goes and gets his fiancée, and it's already awkward because he's just that type of guy. He's like, "This is my fiancée, Mrs. Knight." I mean Alice. I always do that.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Oh, and even before that, when because he runs in on his own and she's not even there yet. And he's like, I'm going to go get my fiancée, guys. She's out parking the truck. And I'm like, just picturing this woman like parking a truck right by Central Park is hilarious.
It's just, that's what I'm saying. He's going back outside. It's already awkward. And then he makes it more awkward. And the whole gang is like,
yes,
dumbfounded. To the point where, what is it? Even, was it they say they want to have kids right away?
Yes.
And Rachel is like, oh my God.
That's great.
That's so great.
Yeah, they're trying to like cover, they're all in shock because he says, I was in her home ec class. And she's like, he was one of my best students and she was my best teacher. And then they just start making out like aggressively in front of everyone. And they're all just like, wow, if that won't keep you in school, what will? Is Chandler's reaction.
and listen, then Frank Jr.'s in there like, well, listen, I never had a dad around. And now I always will because it'll be me.
Oh,
like,
sweet Frank.
Every line here is
Frank.
gold.
Yes.
Every line here is awesome. The whole thing, between the reactions from the friends, Frank Jr., Alice, them making out randomly throughout this whole set. It's so funny. Well, so funny.
And even, I did note here that even before Alice came in and they saw how the age gap, how much older she is than him, and that she was his teacher, Monica and Ross, did you notice how judgmental they were immediately?
Pretty quickly.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, guys, relax. My takeaway from this whole storyline is, damn, Frank is so new into Phoebe's life, right? She's hung out with him once, where he was in the city getting his ninja stars, and they had that, and they are all really intensely interjecting themselves into his life, right?
I think, okay, it's fair for them to, I don't think they're necessarily criticizing him as much as they are saying, listen, he's 18.
Yes.
And of course,
That's
they're
true.
all in their mid,
Yes.
later 20s
Yes.
and still not married,
That's
not one of them.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so
They're looking at this like
this kid is 18 years old, just out of high school.
It's true.
And is now marrying his teacher before they even know that part. It's just like, he's really young to get married.
That's
Are you
true.
sure this is the right idea? So I don't think they're necessarily blaming Frank. They're more concerned about his age.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not that you can't get married at 18 and have it be super successful.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to clarify the judgment from them, I think is what it is.
Yeah. It's just, I just noted, I'm like, man, they don't even really, like, he's not this part of their group yet, so it just struck me as being, like, they were just quick to interject their own thoughts and opinions, but that is fair. It's like, listen, they now are also, they care about Frank because he is Phoebe's brother and Phoebe's trying to form this relationship with him. So I think in doing so and trying to be his protective older sister, she's just trying to look out for him. I just feel like it kind of, well, and we'll see, as Phoebe goes to the guys, which I love her taking this approach, going to Ross and Joey about, do you want me to lose everything? and, but so she gets Joey and Ross to have this conversation with Frank about like, hey man, you might want to think about making this decision. And Frank is really, for being a pretty simple guy, he really knows what he wants, at least in this moment. And, he even says to Ross, so what you have with Rachel, I have that with Alice, being with her is so much better than not being with her. His point, which is simple, but to the point. It's like, oh, okay.
Well, in this scene, I think they did a really good job setting the stage for it too, because you originally have Frank Jr. kind of sitting down in this recliner and Joey and Ross standing and trying to like educate him on how it is. And then slowly but surely,
tables turn.
Ross and Joey take the seats and Frank is standing explaining how love is. And you just kind of have this seesaw effect of who's in charge in this scene, and it's not shown just through the conversation, but also visually how they do it. And it is one of my favorite scenes in this episode.
It's out there, man. I've seen it. I got it. Then you hold on to it.
That's it. And you hold on to it. And then they become the best man in the ring.
Oh my God. I love that part too. It quickly jumps to where Phoebe's then back and she's talking with them. You're Frank's best man? Phoebe to Joey. Ross, I'm the ring bearer. Yeah, it's like, wow, guys, you did not do the job. Like, this is not what we had planned.
Not at all. Now, I'll say this. The Phoebe then going to Alice and getting her to like back out of it and then bringing her in to have her explain to Frank why and then just kind of like leaving them alone. None of that I sign off. Those scenes always feel really awkward. It doesn't feel like Phoebe. Like I don't feel like of all the characters that feels like a Monica scene. That Monica would do that.
That's right.
But Phoebe does not feel like the one that would do that.
No, you're so right. And I think that's what bothered me. Maybe that's where my feelings about like just overstepping and interjecting were really rooted, was that scene where Phoebe goes to Alice. It's kind of like the whole reason that Frank went to you, Phoebe, is because he knows how open-minded you are and that you would be, that you would be the one who would be cool with this and that would understand. And her initial reaction was kind of like, all right, Frank's getting married. But then when she met him, I think that's where
met Alice.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, met her, Alice. Then she was like, oh, the age gap is a little, and her being his former teacher. I mean, even for Phoebe,
Well,
I
that's
think
not good.
that was
That's not good.
because if we flip
we're
this,
crossing lines
yeah, like
here.
if we flip this story around and it was the guy who was the former teacher and the younger student, although Ross does kind of go there in the future, not in
We
high
do
school,
flip that
but
around.
we do have that sequence. Either way, in this moment, I think Frank, as he pointed out to Phoebe, like, listen, this is why I came to you. I thought that you would be understanding. So I think my favorite portion of this episode though was where Phoebe is, having Frank over and he is just so upset because Alice has now, after her conversation with Phoebe, she then agrees, you know what? Okay, I guess you're right. I will back off. I'm going to end things. And Frank is just super depressed. And how Giovanni Ribisi acts this whole scene is great. Him crawling onto the table where he's saying, I was finally happy after my dad left me, and then getting arrested for stealing those birds, and then the whole punctured lung thing. It's still really hard.
Frank's been through some
It's
stuff.
still really hard to take deep breaths in cold weather, but I was getting better because of Alice. And he's like crawling onto the table slowly and then laying down. And it's just, you could just see how physically and emotionally defeated Frank is. And she's just like, it was me. This whole thing is because of me. And and then Frank, I'd storm out of here if I had some money or a place to go. Oh poor Frank. So good.
Listen, Frank Jr. to me puts himself in a class with Janice
Yes
as elite level guest
yes
stars,
absolutely.
or recurring guest stars. You know what I mean? That these two, every scene, I'm always gonna laugh because they are bringing something good to the table.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. Because there's even the scene where Phoebe says, she's talking about the age gap, and he says, "Well, I'm older when we first got together, so I don't know how I could be too young." Oh
Yeah,
Frank. Yeah. So yeah. Then that's really where we leave them at the end of this episode, with Frank in despair.
Well,
right?
Frank doesn't. No, because Phoebe brings Alice back.
That's right. I'm sorry, guys. That's right. Alice does come back at the very end of this
I was
episode.
going to say, Alice comes back.
Oh my
into
gosh,
the
and
thing,
then Phoebe's
Alice is
forced
the
to leave
one.
her apartment. That's right.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Yes.
Alice is the one who comes back. And she's like, Phoebe's got Alice trying to explain why she's the one who, called it all up. And it all goes sideways real quick for Phoebe. And, you left that episode going, okay, so that's going to be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Those two are together. But I don't know that at the point of watching this the first time, I would have thought, oh, they're going to be around a bunch.
Right.
That this was just a one-off guest star appearance. But no, they bring him back a few times.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, it is, I did look it up while we were going. The actress's name is Deborah Jo Rupp.
Oh, okay.
I could not remember her name for the life of me. I'm sorry. But I know she's been in like that 70s shows where it jumps out to me.
For sure. Yep.
So now we're going to jump into our IMDb rankings section of the video, where we talk about each of these episodes and where we thought they would rank on the IMDb scale. Somewhere between 0 and 10, 10 being the highest. And we do know that Friends has got an average of an 8.9. That being said, we're also going to name our favorite and least favorite characters from this stretch. And I know I usually ask you, Amanda, if you want to pick your favorite or least favorite characters, but I'm going to jump in here first. And I'm going to jump in with my favorite character from both of these episodes. And I don't know if I'm just on like a routine here with Chandler. I've picked Chandler for probably 3
He's so
episodes in
great.
a row. I'm going to pick it
Yeah.
again. And I think the thing is, while all these other things are happening, Chandler's doing the heavy
He keeps
lifting
it going.
with making me laugh on every single episode. I know some, like this one, it was all the hypnosis tape
Yep.
stuff. And in the ski trip, he's the one trying to bring some jokes while everybody else is falling apart around him. And Ross and Rachel were breaking it up in the previous episode, and he's the one trying to like pull it all together with some comedy. So I'm going with Chandler. I think he's just carrying the show right now when it comes to the comedy element.
Yeah. Well, he does even have that line in the first episode there that where he's saying, you know, it's when my parents got divorced that I, you know, started using humor as a defense mechanism. So I think like all of that is now really coming to fruition here. So yeah, I think that's
it's really coming in strong. And I know we're going to talk about our rankings here, and like the ski trip episode to me is got moments, but it's not my favorite by a long stretch.
Yeah.
And I think he is the one that really stands out. He's always got the quick answer. He's always got the joke to tell. And I know that's his character in general, but it stood out more in that episode than others. I almost went with Frank Jr. because of how funny he is in general. But I wanted to pick someone who was in both episodes.
I think that's
for my favorite.
And I am going to pick Frank Jr. You probably sort of knew that I was going to pick Frank Jr. too. So this was his episode. As I said before, like the scene where he's crawling onto the table and is just crushed. And then even, you know, when he first shows up at Central Perk and is just like, his acting is so hilarious. And I had to go with him. He's so funny. I also felt like my runner up, is Phoebe. I felt like Phoebe was so good to the friends and was like really trying to keep like everyone grounded. You know what I mean? And she's often the one who's kind of taking flight and is off in another direction. But I feel like when everyone else is being really not making any sense, she tries to really pull everyone back together. Right.
Phoebe would also be one of the runner-ups for me. Like she had 2 very, very good episodes. So yeah, I think these were like core Phoebe episodes, which is great to see her in that role. Cause I feel like we've seen her kind of shoved into some weird guest star roles every now and then. Or not guest star roles, but with the guest star that is there. So least favorite?
So I'm going to actually go with Ross because of the moments that we mentioned before where it's like he was just so whiny and then lying to Carol about everything that went down. And it's like, dude, just pull yourself together here, Ross. You're not being great. Although, you know, I did appreciate him with the, you know, attempting to help Phoebe with giving Frank Jr. the advice there. But yeah, still the whole thing with him and Rachel, I went with him for my least for these episodes. How about you?
So I was going to pick Ross or Rachel.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to, and I have it just like Ross or Rachel ? On my paper right now. And so you've picked Ross. I was leaning Rachel, and I'm leaning Rachel because of what you just tailed off with there, which is the scene with Frank and Ross and Joey.
Yeah.
Is a good enough scene for Ross for me. Like where he then also becomes the ring bearer and he's trying to convince him and then doesn't get convinced. I feel like that is better than anything Rachel did. And I do like the Ross and Carol scenes from the previous episode where he says that, well, you're one to talk and those things. I feel like Rachel had less moments that made a positive impact for
Yeah.
these two. So I'm going to go with Rachel.
Yeah, I actually even had a note. We didn't talk about this part where I felt like she was being really judgy to Monica for like knowing what was on Walker Texas Ranger and like telling her basically to go out with the millionaire because he's a millionaire. It's like, Rachel, come on. Like, aren't you
No,
past this though? Like, it's kind of going back to her roots.
I did not. Yes, you're not wrong. But I will say I didn't view it as you need to go out with him because he's a millionaire. I viewed it as, hey, you've got someone that's interested in you. Get out of the house and like go date somebody for once.
Yeah.
Because she's still kind of stuck in the Richard thing. I think she dated Julio once. She hasn't done anything else. Like Monica's been a virtual background character for us for a while.
Yeah.
This is a good opportunity to go out. So I didn't view it as quite as offensive, but I do understand that you could certainly take it that way if you wanted to.
Yeah.
And with that, before we jump into the IMDb, I have this note that I wanted to pull up. Now, this is just one man's opinion out there that I saw when I was putting our social media out there.
Yeah.
But there was somebody who had posted a video with the 10 worst relationships in Friends. And I thought that was really smart and fun to do.
Okay.
And as I'm looking through them, there were some ones that you would expect would be the worst, but I'm not going to spoil it. Go find their social media. It's out there. But their number one answer for who was the worst relationship in Friends was Monica and Richard.
The worst?
The worst.
Oh, I strongly disagree with that. It's the worst?
I think their statement was they don't know why Monica would put herself in a position where she's dating somebody so much older that didn't want the same things.
Have you never been attracted to someone that you shouldn't be attracted to? Like, come on. Like, that is just, what? Oh my God.
I knew you would react this way.
Good Lord. I don't know.
I saved it for you just for that.
That person has apparently made all the right choices and has just immediately known the right path to go down. Wow. That is, strongly disagree.
Listen, could not disagree more.
I mean,
not that they were the best couple that ever existed, but I would put them way closer to the better end of the spectrum than the terrible end of the spectrum.
I'm thinking
there are some real bad couples out there.
I'm thinking of all the relationships that Ross had been in. Like, we've talked about how Ross has been in the most relationships out of all of them.
He will, when it's all said and done, for sure.
Oh, yeah. I mean, him with the first one that's really coming to mind without going on this complete tangent. We could spend a long time on this, but just him with the student, as we mentioned earlier. It was like Ross, and they even all pointed out to him, dude, where do you actually see this going? Like, is this a thing or?
That's not a great one. There are some other not great ones. But anyway.
Okay. Yeah.
And maybe we will put our own list together.
I think maybe we should.
Or
we could have a whole episode
maybe
on that.
If you're listening to this right now and you agree with us or disagree with us,
yeah,
let us know. Was that the worst relationship in Friends? I don't think so.
Oh, you mean Monica and Richard? Yeah. Who agrees with that? Who, please?
Somebody does. Somebody's out there.
Apparently. Yeah. Did you have the social media? Who was that? So we could. Or
I don't have it with me. Yeah. I will track it down and we will provide some credit.
All right.
Where credit is due.
Sounds good.
That being said, IMDb rankings.
Yes. Okay.
What do you think here?
Okay. All right.
Now, I have said this to you every single time that I've written mine all down here. But in going back and looking through cast members, I do have the answers. So I know what they are. But I will keep my rankings as are written down on this paper exactly as they are.
Yeah.
So I'm not changing mine.
This is the honor system.
But I do know what the answers are ahead of time, which I feel like is a little sketchy.
You're getting skewed by the people.
I know. And I didn't mean to, but I had mine written down before the episode. And I will say that neither of them are right.
Well,
So there's that.
Considering we haven't developed a cash prize system for who wins, we'll just roll with that, right? We might need to tighten.
Okay, all right.
We might
I
need
just want
to
to make sure that we're all very clear.
We might need to
I want to
tighten
be
up.
honest where honesty is needed.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Eric. Thank you. Okay, so I'll go first and give you my rating.
You go
for
first.
each.
Just that way mine are not adjusted.
So my favorite of these two was the one with the hypnosis tape.
Same.
I felt like we
Same.
actually could have kept talking about that episode for way longer. Yeah, so I give that one an 8.9. So it's right on that
Okay.
cusp. Like I was like, I could have gone even higher on that one, but I felt like overall I'm going 8.9. And then for the first one, the one without the ski trip, I gave that one an 8.5. So both really solid episodes. I really like that one too, but they're sort of what we talked about. It's sort of like a bridge episode where really funny moments, but it wasn't like one of the best of the series either.
Yeah.
So that's where I
So now you heard me say last week that like these next few episodes, I'm just not a huge fan of, right? Now we know the one with fake Monica and begrudgingly, I will admit, hold on, where is it?
Yeah, what was the other?
The one with Phoebe's ex-partner
Yes.
are both at 7.6. That's the bottom.
Yeah.
I don't think either of these are close to the
No.
bottom. But I also don't think either of them are particularly good.
Okay.
So the one with the hypnosis tape, I gave an 8.3.
Okay.
And the one with the ski trip, I gave an 8.1.
Okay.
And I do think the hypnosis tape is better. I do love the fact that Frank Jr. is back. I think the one with the ski trip, because we were on a break and it's so awkward. We're just trying to like drag ourselves out of Ross and Rachel until it gets to the point where all 6 of them can hang out together again.
Yes.
And it's just kind of weird. And I think we're also coming off of some of our favorite episodes ever, that the next few are just going to be kind of a letdown. So I never feel great about these ones. So I hear what you're saying. And maybe if they had ordered them in a different spot, I'd feel differently, but
hitting me where it hurts, my ski skills.
That's it. That's it. Well, when it comes down to it, both of these have the exact same rating, and they are both an 8.2.
Wow. Okay.
So the Friends fans also side closer to my side of the spectrum here than yours, I think.
Yeah.
I do agree that the one with the hypnosis tape is the better of the two.
Yes.
I don't think they're tied.
Yeah.
But I think I do think for those of you who listen to all our episodes, the next one will be better.
Yeah, no, for sure. I loved both Jon Favreau and Giovanni Ribisi, and oh my goodness, now I'm forgetting her again, but Alice from that 70s show.
Deborah Jo Rupp.
Deborah Jo Rupp. I feel like all 3 of them are such great side characters. Like a lot of times when the outsiders come into Friends, it doesn't always hit, right? Yeah. So we had 3 people that came in, and I loved all of them. So yeah.
That's why that episode is better than the other.
Yeah, I could watch that
trip,
one over and over. I don't know. I just love that one.
The ski trip is a bridge. This one is better. But I think we're gonna dive into next episode when we talk about the one with the tiny T-shirt.
Oh my god!
And we talk about the one with the dollhouse.
Oh yeah.
Like now we're getting into some real better looking episodes.
Dollhouse.
I think. Yes. Well, we can talk about that
later
in our next episode.
All right. Sounds good.
Well, thank you so much for listening to the We Run on Reruns podcast. Please follow us on Instagram and TikTok and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And again, if you could go out of your way to like or repost or share any of these videos, we would really greatly appreciate it. You can check out our website at werunonreruns.com. And for Amanda, this is Eric. Happy rerunning, everybody, and enjoy watching episodes 19 and 20 of season 3 this week.
See you later, guys.